Daytona is supposed to be about speed, glory, and legacy. It's the race driver's dream about their entire lives. But in 2026, the story doesn't begin with celebration. It begins with tension, real tension. Before anyone can even think about winning the Daytona 500, they first have to survive something far more unforgiving: the duels. And this year, those races feel less like qualifying events and more like a warning. Too many fast cars, too few open spots, and someone the sport expects to see on Sunday isn't going to make it. For years, the duels have existed in a strange space, important but not desperate, a place where open teams often played it safe, avoided risk, and hoped attrition would do the work for them. That era is gone. In 2026, the numbers are brutal. There are only 4 open positions available, and there are more than 4 cars that are legitimately fast enough to claim them on speed alone. That single fact changes everything. The duels are no longer warm-ups. They are elimination rounds, and every lap feels like a test of nerve. Daytona has always been unforgiving, but this year it feels personal. The open teams aren't here to log laps or soak in the atmosphere. They aren't here to be happy just showing up. They're here because they believe they belong. And belief is a dangerous thing at 190 miles per hour. When multiple teams show up knowing they have real cars, real engines, and real preparation, patience becomes harder to maintain. Every driver knows that riding in line might not be enough anymore. Playing defense could send you home. That's why the focus immediately turns to drivers who understand chaos better than most. Cory LaJoie has spent his career being labeled an underdog, a grinder, someone who overachieves in limited equipment. But superspeedways don't care about reputations. They care about awareness, and LaJoie has plenty of it. Backed by RFK Racing in the number 99, this isn't a placeholder entry. This is a car built with intent. Real resources, serious engineering. LaJoie doesn't need to dominate a duel to lock himself in. He just needs to be in the right lane at the right moment, and that might be more dangerous than raw aggression. Then there's Chandler Smith in the Front Row Motorsports number 36, an entry that feels criminally overlooked. Front Row doesn't stumble into speed at Daytona. They plan for it. They understand the draft, the timing, and the rhythm of superspeedway racing better than most teams with bigger budgets. Smith may still be young at the Cup level, but Daytona doesn't care about age. It cares about decisions. If Smith listens, stays disciplined, and trusts what's under him, he has a real path into the race, and that realization puts pressure on everyone else around him. But maybe the purest example of desperation meets precision comes from Beard Motorsports. This team doesn't show up casually. They don't treat Daytona like just another weekend. Their season often hinges on these laps alone. Anthony Alfredo knows exactly what's at stake. There's no illusion here, no long-term point strategy, no fallback plan. You make the race or your day is over. That clarity removes hesitation. It forces sharp decisions. And sometimes that kind of focus is exactly what Daytona rewards. Hovering above all of this is a name that changes the atmosphere the moment it appears in the draft: Jimmie Johnson. His presence draws cameras, attention, and expectation. Drivers respect him. They know his resume. But respect doesn't guarantee anything anymore. The modern Cup Series doesn't hand out spots based on legacy. Johnson is still adapting to the current car, recalibrating instincts built in a different era. He has speed, but Daytona has no memory. It doesn't care who you were. It only cares where you are when the checkered flag waves. That's what makes the duels feel different now. Traditionally, open teams leaned towards survival, let others make mistakes, avoid the mess, pick up positions when possible. In 2026, that strategy might be a death sentence. There are too many capable cars chasing the same 4 lifelines. Riding in line won't save you if everyone else is thinking the same way. Aggression isn't a gamble anymore. It's a requirement. The duel format forces open cars to race each other directly.
They aren't competing with the entire field. They're locked in a narrow, intense battle where every pass matters more than usual. A missed block can drop you behind the wrong line. A poorly timed push could end 2 seasons at once. And the danger isn't just contact, it's being trapped, stuck, watching the wrong group pull away while your chance evaporates lap by lap. Pack dynamics at Daytona only amplify that stress. Draft partners change constantly. Manufacturer alliances form and collapse without warning. One line may dominate for 10 laps, only to shatter when someone gets impatient. Open teams have to navigate this chaos, knowing that chartered teams don't share their urgency. A chartered driver can afford to ride, an open driver cannot. That difference in motivation creates unpredictable moments that raise the risk for everyone involved. Fans have started calling the duels a bloodbath, not because drivers want to wreck, but because nobody can afford to back down. Every open team arrives with the same question in mind. Not how do we finish well, not how do we look respectable, how do we qualify? That singular focus changes behavior, it changes judgment, and it creates moments that stick in the memory long after the race is over. The mental strain on these drivers is enormous. Weeks of preparation funnel into a handful of laps. One mistake can erase months of work. Crew chiefs walk a tightrope between speed and stability, knowing that a car built too aggressively might be fast but fragile. Spotters carry incredible responsibility, guiding split-second decisions with incomplete information. Every voice on the radio matters. Every call has weight. What separates 2026 from past years is how serious these open teams are. These aren't hopeful, underfunded operations waiting for chaos to save them. These are strong programs with good engines, smart people, and real belief. The drivers have experience. They've raced here before. They understand how Daytona works, and they genuinely believe they belong near the front. That belief is powerful, and it's dangerous. As race day gets closer, the atmosphere in the garage changes. No one talks about trophies yet. No one talks about victory lane. That comes later. Right now, the goal is brutally simple. Make the race. Line up on pit road Sunday morning. Just being there feels like winning. And that desperation creates moments fans remember forever. A perfectly timed push down the backstretch, a bold outside louvre on the final lap, a block that holds just long enough. These moments define careers. They become part of Daytona lore. Go or go home isn't a phrase this year. It's the reality. There is no middle ground. You either earn your place or you watch from the sidelines. For teams like RFK Racing, Front Row Motorsports, Beard Motorsports, and Legacy Motor Club, the duels aren't preliminaries. They are the event. When the green flag drops, every open car carries fear, expectation, and belief, all at once. Belief they're fast enough, belief they belong, belief that this year will be different. And when the checkered flag falls, only 4 of them will be proven right. That's what makes Daytona 2026 feel different. Not the spectacle, the stakes. Because at its core, racing has always been about earning your place under pressure. And there may be no pressure like this anywhere else in the sport.